Let me know my screen is visible or not. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So yesterday we had a discussion on test browser, right? So today we go for IDEs with the same program. I will start it. So as I told you, the locators are what to be can find with the specified element from the web page, right? So in that locator, the first one is an IDE. By using IDE, how we can get the locator from the web page. Okay. So yesterday, okay, by ID we are setting up the keys and sending the data. So here the driver already we tested in the configuration. Here we are set upping with all the driver, and with the server we are running with the Chrome driver. Okay, so let's start with by ID. So already we had a ID. Let me go to the next one is name. Let me open this here in the here we are opening the Chrome, and we next we passing with this password. Let me inspect the element. So here the password, what is the name? Pass. So how do we find this one? Say go to here. So let me write driver dot find element by dot name. Is the name of that ID? ID name is pass. So just I can pass the parameter as an pass and send the keys. Send keys, always the argument in the form of string. So here just I am showing you Prashant 123 is a password. So let me try whether it will be send the data to with the help of name. Let me run. Yes, the password is entered, which I entered, whatever the thing we are going to be entering. Okay, the same thing. The next one is what? The next one ID is link text or a partial. So how do we find it? So locating by name, as I explained, the same thing. So next we move on by using a link test. So here the link text is a element with by the link test and a partial link test. There is a two types of links we are finding in the web page. So first one is a link test with a complete name. You have to be pass it. For the partial link test, you can pass a bit element or some alphabets related with that link test you are going to be finding. Partial means it's not complete, just you can starting 2 or 3 alphabets you can pass, it will be work. Let me go to the example. So first we go to here, find the link test. Link test is this one. So inspect the element. So this is the link text. What is the tag XPath? Later we can see. The link text is having what? Forgotten password. Let me try this. Go to command line. So here we are saying driver dot find element by dot link text. So here you can pass the link text. So let me go to here, copy this link text, and here I can pass this and click element. There is a method called click. Now right click, run as Java application. Okay, Okay, now it is coming with partial link text. Now, so if I go for, I don't know complete link name, just I know about forgotten. Then what I have to do, I should go for partial link text. So I will comment this driver dot find element by dot one partial link text. Just I can pass the partial link text forgotten. I can copy, paste it, dot link. Now it should be come up with the same page, right? I can close this. Now clear. I can run this program. Yes, it is clicking the same way. So what is the difference between link text and partial link text? So if you are working with the link text, you should be give the complete the link of that name. But when you go for a partial link list, just you can give any one uh, string, or you can complete string is not required for the partial link text. Let me rerun once. Right, so this is also possible. Now after this, the next one is what? Next one is an by name is we done, right? By name, by ID, partial link text. So this is a CSS selector. So CSS selector, we are getting different kinds of tag IDs, tag with the ID, tag with the class, tag and attribute, tag class and attribute. These are the 4 types of the CSS selector. Let me go to first one. So here, look at carefully here by CSS selector, you should be give the input. Input is what? This the tag name, tag ID, tag name and hash. Hash indicates ID with the email. Okay. So keep in mind whenever you are working with the tag and ID CSS selector, then you should be specified like this. Let me open the same page. So here the email, this one I need to be inspect. So name is what? Email, or you can take ID. So which one we are doing here? Tag and ID. What is the tag name here? Tag name is an input, the ID is an email. In between what I need to do, tag and ID, if you want to specify, then you can go for hash. Okay, let me comment these two using CSS tag and ID. Let me write driver dot find element by dot CSS selector. These are CSS selector. So which one we are looking? We are looking into tag and ID. What is the tag here? Input. Input is an tag, right? Let me write here. So input is our tag name. Input hash. Next, what I need to do? I need to write an email. This is a ID. Yes or no? So here tag and ID. ID is the value you should be specified with an tag name. Let's go to here and send the keys. Now we can save it. Now try to run this. Is sending the data or no? Yes. So it's a valid. So how do we write a CSS tag with ID? Tag name should be this one. Okay, this is the tag name. This is the tag name. Input type is a tag name. And next you should be ID. ID you are using email, the value you should be writing. So that's what the syntax always you should be remember. Syntax for the CSS tag and ID. How do we write it? So this is the tag name hash with the ID value in mind. Okay, this is the using tag name and ID. Next one is tag and class. So here the driver same thing with whenever you are using a class, then you should go for dot symbol. Let me go to here where you can verify whether there is a class or not. Yes, this is the class. So input text under this one. Normally we are not using these things, but you should be remember. Some of the rare cases we go for these IDs. CSS selector. Normally we are writing an XPath in our real-time scenarios. Let me take this class. So take here using class name, right? Driver dot find element I dot CSS selector. So here I can say what I have to do. What is the class name with an ID? So class name is input and that input text is there. With the same element also we can do. I'm showing you the class name. What is that class name? Let me try this. Okay. Dot what? Which one we are using? That the tag dot class name. Tag is input here, right? So input dot input text dot this one. Next dot and keys, and here I'm passing Prashant 3. Okay, now try to hit. It is failing. It's not taking because it is changing every time. In that case, we are getting what? No such element exception. So if I say email class name, the class name is what? The class name is for this email. It's a class. Input text. Okay. So what we are using input text. It is input text is not there. But here it is a class is a input text. But here we are not getting class. Class is always it should going to be change. I think let me take this. Okay, the same thing we are getting element CSS selector input session. Okay, so let me take another one. The name is going to be changing. We take here. Is there any class type? The class name, class this one. ID name is that input text, but it is randomly changing. Let me take this. Can take this. Then if class length is always changing. Class is very length. Try with another one. So whenever the class names are changing, don't take it because they are the dynamic ones. Okay, that's all. Let me take another example. Go to tutorial. Gmail, we have anything. Gmail.com. Class. Let me check this. So it's not like that, but always keep in mind the class name should be stopped, not like this, because this all the application is changing from different. Take this. Class T. Taking. The class is going to be changing here. 55 RL is there, but which one we are given? This is 55 RL UI. Correct, right? 9 and 9. Correct. Input tag is what? Input only. It is not taking. It should be take, right? It is not taking. No such element. Everything is correct. I can check the first one. Let me go to here only. Class input dot in this email. Same class name, right? Both have a same class name. Okay, this also same class name, and this also same class name. So that's what it is. Not getting. Let me make this line. Save it. Let to run this. Already both elements have the same name. Let me try with this. The class name. Let me confirm it to the expert. We go to here. Let me click on that. I will dot find element a dot css selector, and the class name is a dot set value dot click. Here click it is. Now we can save it. So class it is not taking. Element exception. Element is not available. Okay, leave it later. We can check it. It is changing. Let me try this expert. Yeah, by using expert also we can do. But later I will tell you how to find expert. We are not writing these all things. Say class a. Okay. Let me find by expert. Driver dot find element by dot expert. Right. Here we can do dot save it. Yes, now it's working, right? So this is, let me take here, inspect the element. Sorry, class is very lengthy here. It is created with a different name. Should, okay. Let me take an example. Next. Closing the windows. Okay, next one is I will tell you later this. I will take one more example, then I will tell you. Next one is what? By using the tag name, multiple elements have the same tag name and the class name, and multiple elements have the same HTML tag name. Only the first element in the source code will be recognized. So driver.css selector input text, this one. So both having the same thing. Yes or no? So in that, as I told you, multiple tags, always it will take the first one, but it will not allowing to me, right? Now, next, tag and attribute. The driver.find element by CSS selector input with the tag and attribute. Input is our tag name is an attribute. This is the value. Let's go to this, try to this one by using tag and attribute. Let me take with the same Same example. So here we should go for driver dot find by element by dot css selector, and here I need to write a values. How do I write? Facebook. Okay. Let me go to here. Try to here inspect the element. So input is our tag, name, attribute is a name, the value is email, right? It's the same thing. Input, name, last name. Last name is our value, name is a attribute, so attribute, and this attribute value, and the tag name is input. Let's try to work on this. Let me try to execute. So I need to take input is my tag name, attribute is a name, equal to what is the name I have? Name is email. You can copy. Just you can go to here, paste it. Then dot send keys with same thing, driver dot find element by dot css selector. Here also I can say input is my tag name, and the attribute name I am taking is the, so here I will take inspect. So password, last name is pass. Now I can go for here, name equal to pass dot send keys. So here I'm passing my password. Let me try this. Save. Right click, run a Java application. Yes, both are working by using attribute, tag and attribute. Yes or no? Tag and attribute. Next, so we should go for here the class. It's not working to me. So tag, class and attribute. Let me try this. First I should take a tag with the input. Tag is what? Input, and input text is my class name, and the attribute with the index. Okay, here the same thing, class input text, tab index. Here giving a tab index. Based on that you are going to be sending the keys. Okay, based on the keys we are going to be sending the values. Let me take this example. This is handled by Chrome. Now here I am using with the tag, class and the attribute. These three we are mix up. The tag is input, input text is my class, attribute is tab index. Let me take this, try once. So first of all we should go for your element, driver dot find element by dot css selector, and here I should be right my, what is the first thing? I should give a tag name. What is my tag name? Tag name is input. What I need to do after that, dot, the dot is not working for me. Let me try with the class. Okay, what is that? Sorry, the class is input text, but here my class name is, this one. This is my class name. It here square bracket, so no, with that square bracket, what I need to be pass the indexes. Let me go to here, try with an index. Is there any index? Let me inspect. Auto plus one is there. Index application ID password. What is that? That is an tab index. Here tab index is there, but here we don't have those things, right? So every time the application background is going to be changing. Let me take this, whether it is there or not. Tab index. Okay. Guys, these two I will create one new HTML page. I will explain with these things. Leave it. So here you need to be remind me these things. That is a class. It's not working to me. I will check with the latest one. I will create one HTML page there. Try to execute. Okay. Later I will discuss on that. Next, this is the complete summary of the locator. The class name is not working for me. So let's say by dot class name, what it will do, it will find the element based on the value of the class attribute. So here, how do we find that class name? Find the element by is a class, key by is a class, and there we can find a class name. Okay, now CSS selector with the underlying CSS selector engine. By using CSS selector, how we are finding with an ID. So input hash email. Next to with then normal ID, how we are finding by dot ID. But when you go for a link text, directly you can pass the complete the link of that particular text. You need to be specifying the link text and the name. By using the name, you are finding the locator or element in the web page. Next, partial link text is what? The partial link text, at least 3 or 4 alphabets you need to be mentioned in the argument. That is what we are saying, partial link text. Tag name, by using the tag name also we can find it. Okay. So let me try this by using the tag name. Here we can take this. So here the same thing, just remove this. How we are finding by using the tag name, find element by tag name with the tag name. So let's say by tag name, the tag name is input. Here multiple inputs are there. So no, dot here dot send is. So here I'm saying pressure. It won't work, I think, because multiple tag inputs are there. The unique ID you need to be follow. Otherwise, it won't take some time. Yes or no? So here saying what? Is saying element not interactable exception, because when I say the tag name is input, so multiple tag names are there here. Let's say input is so many multiple tags. Let's say here password, if I say the password is also input, then I say log, here button is, when I say create, if I take this, let me try. Tag is A is here also, this one is also tag. Unique thing I need to be take. OMG is in Facebook. Okay, let me take this tag name is the same is right. This one H2. H2 is also so many things. Let me take copy H2. Here I am taking one more. Get. Let me print this. Save it. Run the application. Yes, it is taking by using tag name, but it should be unique, guys. Okay, multiple tag names are there. In that case, you won't get anything. Okay, so let me take this by using class. So this one will click or not. Let me take. I go by input. Say class name. CSS selector. Here I can specify input got with the class name. That dot class is not binding to me, so that's what I am getting. No such element. Okay, later we can check it. So these things you need to be verified. Okay, this one it is working fine for us, right? By using tag. Only the thing is the class attribute I need to be checked. By XPath is working, but directly when I go for a CSS selector with a class, it's not working. Okay, these are all very important, guys. In our real-time examples, in our application, always we prefer ID because ID will not change every time. If you go for a text, it may be changed, name, it may be changed, partial link test, may be changed. So you should be remember whenever in the real time, as I have 5 to 6 years of experience, most of the things, 99% we are using by ID only. We are finding the element by using ID. That is what another is very important thing by using XPath. But these are all the interview perspective, you know it. How do we find the CSS selector? On what basis you are getting priority? When do we go for a link text? When do we go for a name? Partial. If ID is not there, then you should check with the name. If the name is not there, then you can go for a either is it a text or button like that. Based on CSS selector also you can find it. So this is the complete summary of the locator. This is very important. Please try to work on it. If you have any queries, let me know. Okay. Next. The very important thing is XPath. If you are good at in XPath, 99% your Selenium will be done. Okay, so that much powerful in the automation. So without XPath, you can't do anything. Okay, if you are knowing better, if you are good at in XPath, the 99% is complete your Selenium. Everything we deal with XPath only. Okay, so let's talk about the XPath. XPath is defined as XML path. XML stands for extended markup language. Language it is. Okay, now it is a syntax or a language to finding an element on the web page using XML path expressions. So by using XPath only, we are finding the element in the web page. XPath is used to find the location of the any element on the web page using what? HTML DOM. From the HTML page, we are getting an element. We are retrieving the element. Okay. So this XPath is very important. Basically, we have a two types of XPath, guys. How many types of XPath? Two types of XPath. One is absolute XPath. Another one is what? Relative XPath. Absolute XPath means what? The complete from end to end. From beginnings to ending, we are selecting the XPath. So that is called an absolute XPath. So it is the direct way to find the element, but the disadvantage of the absolute XPath is if this much you are using a tag, in case TD of 3, in place it is TD of 3, it become 2. The complete whole XPath will be changed, means the element will not find. So we are not prefer absolute XPath. Okay, it is the direct way to find the element, but the disadvantage of the absolute XPath is that if there are any changes made in the path, then that XPath will get failed. As I told you, so TD, this column TD, okay, if it is this is the correct XPath. Once this XPath, it may be changed TD of 2, the whole XPath will be failed because the direction of this XPath will be changes. So that's what, don't use this absolute XPath in your real time. Okay. Now it begins with a single slash. Keep in mind, it begins with a single slash, which means we can select the element from root node, from root to destination. Now below is the example. As I showed you, this is an one of the absolute XPath. Let me go for the test. Just say I can say, I can send the data for absolute XPath. Let me try this. Driver dot find element by dot XPath. So let me write a absolute XPath for this email. Now here what I need to do, right click, inspect whether you can go copy option. We are not getting a choice. So right click here, copy. Okay, let me go to here, inspect the element. So this is where XPath, just what I'm doing, copy XPath. So say right click, inspect that element. If you found, right click on it, copy XPath. When I say, it will print like this, dot and keys. Okay, this is one thing. Next one, driver dot find element I dot XPath. So here, let me take this XPath. And this, right click, copy, full XPath. Full XPath means complete XPath. Now I can save it. This is what? The complete XPath. This is what? Absolute XPath. This is what? Absolute XPath. Now let's see here. This is a relative XPath, right? Later we come up with here. Let me comment this. Right click, new, Java application. It will work, guys, but the thing is, we cannot use it because if I change this value root to 8, now in that case, our XPath will be failed. Yes, it won't work it. So no such element exception. So, so that's what we cannot use absolute XPath. Always we should go for relative XPath. What's a relative XPath? Relative XPath means opposite direction of that one. So here look at, so relative XPath is the path starts from the middle of the HTML DOM structure. It starts with the double forward slash, which means it can search the element anywhere at the web page. You can start the middle of the DOM structure and you need to write a long XPath. So always we should follow with the relative, and keep in mind it always starts with double slash, but absolute XPath starts with single. Okay. So what is the, in the interview they may ask you what is the difference between relative XPath and absolute XPath. So which one you will be prefer. So don't say absolute XPath we are going to be prefer. Always we should go for relative XPath. And the major difference between the relative and absolute XPath is relative XPath starts from the middle of the HTML DOM structure, but absolute XPath is it will starts from the root of your HTML DOM. And another difference between the absolute XPath and relative XPath is uh, absolute XPath starts with the single slash and relative XPath starts with double slash. Okay. So these are the major two difference between your relative and absolute XPath. Don't go for absolute XPath. Try to work on relative XPaths only. Try to find your own XPaths. Okay. So this is what the relative XPath. Now, how do we write a relative XPath? So XPath contains the path of the element which is situated on the web page. The standard syntax. So first you need to be write double slash with the tag name at the rate is used for the attribute. That attribute it have a value. See here, this is the XPath. First you should be write double slash. What is the tag name? You should be write the tag name and at the rate attribute equal to value. So this is what the complete, how do we writing a XPath. Let's write with the complete whole thing on the XPath. Okay, let me take one more example. Take class test, Facebook login. Okay. Now here what I need to do, I need to write a main method. So I need to call what? Configuration class, because every configuration we kept there. Get launch the browser. Which browser? Chrome. Now here, so it is returning, right? Where we can store? We can store into the driver. Okay. So just a second. So it will be written WebDriver. Now first I need to launch the driver dot which method get that URL you need to pass. What is the URL? This URL, guys. Okay, URL you need to pass. So here and give the URL name. After launching the URL, you need to be send what? You need to be send the email. Next, what I need to do? Driver dot find element. So no, find element. So here I need to find the XPath, right? So first I need to pass what? I need to find the, I need to pass post username. You can do like this also. I will tell you one more thing. Okay. So XPath I need to find with the Facebook. Okay. So this is the email. right click, inspect the element and type control F. Control F, you will get this bar here. Let me find it. In fact, this is, which is the unique one, ID. So here I should be right. What is the input type? First I need to be right. Double slash input square bracket there at the rate. Okay, at the rate. What is the ID? ID is my attribute, that value, single quote. Keep in mind, always you have to write single quote scope email. So how many element? Only one of one. So your XPath is correct. The one of one always indicates your XPath is correct. Now just I can copy. So just can go to here. Will set. Now send the key values. Now here I'm saying question. Now next what I need to do, I need to pass the password. Driver dot find element by dot XPath. So here I can give the XPath for this password. Now I can go to inspect the element. Okay, input tag. So what I need to do, first I need to double slash. You should be mentioned the tag name at the rate. Okay, so password. You can take name. Now you can, in the email, just I can take an ID. Now I can take the name attribute equal to single quote. What is the value? Pass. How much element? 1. So just you can copy this XPath and go to here, paste this, and now send keys. So here I can send the keys, value you are passing. Okay, right? 1, 2, 3. Now once it will be set, next what we are doing the operations. Next I need to be click on the login. Now go to here. So first I need to find driver dot find element by dot XPath. Now you need to be find the XPath for login. Yes or no? Inspect. So what is the attribute here? Button. What is the tag name? Button. Next what I need to do? Double slash button. Okay. So here then I can take at the rate. So here the unique one is name. So I will take name equal to, what is the value of name? Is the value of name? Login. Just we can copy this XPath, go to here, and just what you are doing action, you are doing action on click. Now you can save it, try to run this. They are not a valid username password, just for yourself. So now it will open browser, enter the password and clicking. Yes or no? So facebook.com, it is still the username password is not correct. Yes or no? So this is the example, guys. So this is complete XPath by using XPath. How we are, and these are all what type of XPath? These are all relative XPath. Okay, please try to work on this. Take any websites, try to find a XPath, relative XPath. Try to work on send keys or click, whatever the thing you want to, you can do it. Okay, this is the simple test case we are going to be executing with the help of Selenium. Okay, yes. So these things you should be practice. You'll get the thing, and later we come up with these things. How to use a contents, how to use contents with text, using or using and with text. Tomorrow we can see it. Okay, so tomorrow is Saturday. Okay, fine. So please try to install these things. Okay, and download the API, everything I given to here, and I will send the programs. Okay,